It's beautiful weather out there, so we thought we'd actually take the opportunity to talk about something that we've been needing to talk about for a while, because we've had some questions about what's the layout of your boat? And we haven't answered those questions in the comments, and I think some people have sort of thought that we've just been randomly changing or don't have a layout at all. And the only reason we haven't answered them so far is it's easy to go into a lot of detail, basically. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with the layout, but we're going to talk it through now and basically give you a guided tour as to what the boat is eventually going to look like.
This is where our bed is going to be. It's going to be quite a big bed. It's just going to go all the way across the boat, and we'll just get off at the end. There are lots of reasons for that. Mainly it's because I hate climbing over people in the middle of the night. So we figure if we're both getting off the end of the bed, then nobody has to climb over anybody and disturb anyone else in the night. And it's just better all round that way, and that's part of the reason we opted for an enclosed bow, so that we could get off the end of the bed and also have a wider bed, because a lot of narrowboat beds, they're like 4 feet wide, which is just, when you're a kind of bed person who just likes to go in bed, you like a bit more space than that. One of the problems we've got in the bedroom at the moment is we didn't really know how the portholes were designed when we ordered them, so unfortunately the angle that they're at is too steep, and the drain holes at the bottom are bringing water into the boat, so we're actually going to get them changed for ones that don't open at all and are just completely bonded shut. And they're also going to be ones with thermal brakes, so they don't collect any condensation on the inside.
The portholes were a bit of a sort of fix from a previous idea, weren't they?
Yeah, we were originally going to have a longer pointy front and actually have hatches in the front, but we thought better of that idea. So we ended up putting portholes in, and we made the whole bedroom shorter, but that means the portholes are over the bed, and yeah, they're dripping, which is not good, but we should be able to sort it out. If we have completely sealed units, it should be fine. So straight after the bedroom are the wardrobes on either side. So we'll get off the end of the bed, and then there's 2 wardrobes here facing each other. So it makes a little corridor that just helps to separate the bedroom from the bathroom.
And then, of course, there's the bathroom, which has gone through a lot of iterations. Here we have the loo. Well, we're going for a composting loo. There's going to be a lot more detail about that later on. We'll have an entire video. I'm sure it'll be magnificent viewing. Now, you might be noticing there's a hatch here. And there's also a hatch here. Now, this again is basically part of the design change that we made, because originally, like Emma said, we were going to have hatches in the bedroom, because you need access points at some point close to the bedroom if you're going to have an enclosed bow. And we thought, yes, we'll have them in the bedroom, and then we changed our minds and realised it probably wasn't going to be a good idea. And practically speaking, the only place that we could put them was in the bathroom. But we are planning that there will be essentially sort of detachable windows that will be able to be mounted on the front of the hatches if we do actually want to have them open, and those windows will have frosted glass. So life should be a little bit easier that way. Okay, we have a corner sink here. We've already bought the sink. It's been sitting in our flat for the last, I think 8 months or so. It's a very nice sink. We shall have a bidet here. Because of course, because of the way that we're setting up the plumbing, because the loo doesn't actually need to be plumbed in, the loo could be this side, and basically all the stuff that actually requires water will be on this side. And over here, we have the bath. which, as long as I'm remembering it correctly, is essentially going to be a Japanese soaking tub, and is going to be around about the largest size that we can get away with and still actually physically get it onto the boat. And also, when you're choosing baths, you've got to be careful that you've also got the right size of calorifier. Because of course there's no point having a massive bath if you don't actually have something on board that can generate enough hot water to actually fill that bath. There'll be a dividing wall here so that the bath will be a little sort of separate area. And that's the layout that we've gone for, because we're basically figuring that it's, you know, I mean, narrowboat bathrooms, they're always compact. You can't do anything about the fact that they're compact, but there's enough room to sort of swing your arms and basically kind of change clothes. And it feels like we could cope with 2 people being in here and it wouldn't be hideously claustrophobic. But yeah, that's where we are on the bathroom at the moment.
So we're having the corridor down this side of the boat, and an office space just after the bathroom here. So there'll be a desk here, and Saxon will be able to sit here on an office chair and work on his computer. Next to that, we're going to have a really thick shelf. This is kind of a double-sided shelf, so on this side, Saxon will be able to keep his books and things, and on the other side, we're going to have a bunch of tech. We're actually going to have the TV just here, which is a slightly unusual choice. A lot of people will have the TV sort of down here, or up here, and we don't like either of those options. We'd like it to be able to sort of sit opposite and have it at the right height. So we figure we normally watch TV when we're eating. So this is our dinette. Seats on this side, seats on this side, table in the middle, and we'll be able to watch the TV on the far side of the dinette, but also just close it away.
And I guess it's nice also having the hatches next to the dinette.
Yes. Hopefully, when the weather is nicer than this.
Yeah.
In the summer, we'll just be able to open these 2 hatches and sort of sit, and it'll be sort of like having a picnic inside.
So after the dinette, we have the sofa, which is placed here and is sort of mainly opposite the stove for maximum lounging capabilities. Should be nice and toasty in the winter. And the stove is actually put on port side because apparently you're not supposed to have it on the starboard side, because if you do that, you do have the risk of your chimney being knocked off by passing trees. It's much less likely on the port side because the port side faces towards the centre of the canal. We had to sort of bear in mind where the stove is, because when you're placing a stove in the layout, there's kind of like a zone. There's a zone of safety because, of course, you know, stoves do kick out a lot of heat. So there's only like certain places that you can put them. But we basically figured that putting a sofa next to it meant that there wasn't anything that would sort of cause too many problems that way. The corridor kind of runs along here, and they'll actually along the corridor, sort of also opposite the dinettes. And the shelves are going to be sort of radiators and also some fairly extensive bookshelves, because, well, we're whittling down our book collection as much as possible, but we've still got lots of books and we want to try and fit on as many as we can. The stove is, I believe, a Chili Penguin stove. That's the make that we've actually sort of decided to go for, because hopefully that should actually come with a sort of inbuilt oven. So we will actually have, you know, when the stove is going, we'll have the option of actually sort of cooking things in it You know, using all that heat, all the heat that's there, let's just make it work for us. So yes, once this area is all done, it should be quite nice.
After the sofa comes the kitchen. Sink on this side in front of the porthole. Drawers facing with a bit of unit space. Hob. Fridge and washing machine with more unit space. A tool unit with the oven at sort of eye height. And then the cupboards with the calorifier and the electrics in on either side at the very end.
We've been actually sort of working on this layout for quite some time, haven't we?
Yeah, since spring of 2014. It went through a lot of iterations in about the first 9 months or so, and we've pretty much settled on this for I don't know how long, but it's a very long time. But you can't really make the final decisions until you've actually seen it in person and sort of marked it out, and you can walk around it and think, yes, that's the right width for that, and that's too tight, and we need to, you know, a bit more space there.
And there's going to be a set of steps behind you, isn't there? Yes, because we're not sort of permanently keeping the exciting stepladder look. But we're planning storage on that, aren't we?
Yeah, we're hoping we can actually fit a folding bike inside the steps.
We'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it might work out, it might not. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the layout, and I mean it's exciting having it all marked in lovely blue masking tape at the moment, but we're about to enter the phase when we're going to be doing the wiring and doing the plumbing, and that's going to be involved and complicated, but once that's done, then walls start going up and these things stop being blue masking tape and start being actual things. And yeah, it's still a little bit away, but I think we're seriously looking forward to it. So after the dinette, we have the sofa, which is placed to be nice and close to the stove, which will be over here for maximum sort of lounging in front of nice hot heat. Ooh, here. Let's do that again. Hot heat, yeah! We're having some really hot heat today. None of that cold heat, no. Okay? God damn it.